Ah, Christmas. You know that feeling, right? The second you hear that first carol or see those first lights go up, it just hits you. It's this wave of nostalgia, this sense that, things used to be simpler, better somehow.
And, the historian Judith Flanders just nails it with this quote. So many of us feel this way, that the Christmas we have now is just this commercialized mess and that we've lost touch with some pure golden age of the holiday that existed a long, long time ago.
But what if that's just a story we tell ourselves? What if that golden age never really existed? That's the big question we're going to tackle. We're going to unwrap the real history of Christmas and find out, was there ever a pure Christmas to begin with?
All right, let's dive right in. And we're going to start our investigation not with carols and cheer, but with something maybe even more traditional, complaining about Christmas. So, if you think getting annoyed about how commercial Christmas has become is a modern thing, think again. I mean, get this. All the way back in 1616, the playwright Ben Jonson had a character in one of his plays moaning that Christmas used to be so much better. Then, in the 1800s, the complaints just switched over to all the new consumer gifts. And, well, that brings us to today. So it turns out, grumbling about the state of Christmas might just be one of our oldest holiday traditions.
Okay, so if the complaining is ancient history, what about the thing we complain about the most? The gifts. Well, it turns out that whole ritual is way more complicated and way more interesting than just presents under a tree.
Okay, stick with me here, because this is fascinating. There was this French anthropologist, Marcel Mauss, who came up with this idea he called total prestations. He saw that in a lot of societies, a gift is never just a gift. It's loaded with all this other stuff. It's economic, it's legal, it's moral. The gift itself isn't the point. It's a symbol for the entire relationship between two people.
And this whole system runs on three unspoken but unbreakable rules. First, you have to give a gift. You can't just decide not to participate. Second, you have to receive one. I mean, think about it. Refusing a gift is a huge insult, right? It's like you're rejecting the person. And third, you have to repay it. You have to give something back, which keeps this whole social cycle going. Sound familiar?
And here is where it gets really real. Moss says the whole thing is basically a formal pretense and social deception. We all pretend that it's this free, spontaneous act of generosity, but we all know it's not. It's a required performance, and we're all in on it. And that, right there, is why it's so stressful. We're not just shopping. We're trying to manage this invisible social debt.
So even though it can feel like this big, stressful competition, this gift exchange thing is actually, well, it's pretty fundamental. It's how we remind each other that we're connected, how we strengthen the bonds that hold our families and our whole society together.
But the battles over Christmas go way, way deeper than just gifts. For centuries, people have been fighting over what this holiday is even supposed to be about. Is it sacred? Is it secular? Or should we just ban it completely? And I'm not kidding about the ban. The Puritans in the Massachusetts Bay Colony literally made celebrating Christmas illegal. If you were caught taking the day off, or, God forbid, feasting, you get hit with a 5-shilling fine. They thought it was all pagan nonsense and mad mirth that took people away from God. Talk about a real war on Christmas. And it was waged by devout Christians.
Now, on the complete opposite end of that, you have the profound theological heart of the holiday. For Christians, this isn't just about Santa or a birthday. It's about celebrating the incarnation, the absolutely wild and central belief that God became a human being. It's this incredible story of divine love entering the human world. And then, there's a third really powerful way to look at it, just pure secular joy. As philosopher Andrew Fiala puts it, for many people, Christmas is about celebrating life in spite of the fact that we're all mortal. It's about finding warmth and love and connection right here, right now. The magic comes from each other, not from up above.
So you've got these wildly different ideas. Ban it, worship it, celebrate it. And they're all focused on this one day. But wait a minute, where did December 25th even come from in the first place? Well, you guessed it. Nobody can agree on that either.
There are two main theories here. The one you've probably heard is the history of religions theory. Basically that early Christians just hijacked popular pagan winter solstice festivals to make their new religion more appealing. But there's another one called the calculation theory. The idea here is that early Christians calculated that Jesus died on March 25th, and they believed he was conceived on that very same date. So you just count forward 9 months and bingo, December 25th. And honestly, that whole debate just shows how Christmas has always been a kind of mashup, right? It absorbs and remixes whatever is around it. And you can see that so clearly when you look at how different cultures celebrate it all over the world.
I mean, forget everything you think you know. Let's just do a lightning round. In Japan, the traditional Christmas dinner is a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. In Iceland, kids get presents or rotten potatoes from 13 different trolls. In Venezuela, people roller skate to church. And my personal favorite? In Sweden, they built this giant straw goat that usually gets burned down by arsonists before the season is even over. It's beautifully, wonderfully weird. So what does all that tell us? It tells us that Christmas isn't some fixed, unchanging story that gets copied and pasted around the globe. It's more like an open source platform. It's a set of ideas and symbols that different cultures can take and remix to express their own unique traditions. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've seen that Christmas has always had a commercial side. People have always complained about it, and it's always been this battleground for different ideas. So after all that, what is the true meaning of Christmas?
You know, I think this quote from Justin Ariel Bailey really gets to the heart of it. The Christian story didn't come along and erase all the old pagan traditions of evergreen trees and solstice festivals. It just reframed them. It gave them a new layer of meaning. The holiday has never been about purity. It's always been about blending and adapting. And this is the big takeaway. The messiness of modern Christmas, that constant push and pull between the sacred and the secular, between buying stuff and being together, that is not a new problem. That is Christmas. The contradictions aren't a bug, they're the entire feature. Which leads us to the most important point of all. The true meaning of Christmas isn't some lost historical artifact we need to dig up. It's a choice. It's something that gets created right now by you, by your family, by your community, in the way you choose to celebrate.
So in the end, there's no single right way to do it. The holiday is a platform, a language, a collection of stories that we all get to tell, which really leaves just one last personal question for all of us. What story does your Christmas tell?